Hello and welcome back to another low-key review. I've got a lot on right now. We're relaunching a podcast, Big Damn, a pop culture podcast. There'll probably be a link somewhere nearby. Yeah, it means that we're doing this low-key and I'm just filming it directly through the camera with the camera mic, so apologies for the sound being different from when I'm normally on camera for these things. However, today we are doing a tiny wave roundup whilst looking at the Build-A-Figure of Gilgamesh. Hey! Well, there's Gilgamesh's torso and Gilgamesh! Right leg and left leg. Woohoo! And right arm and left arm and the spare hands and the head of Don Lee. There we go. Yeah, we're going to be looking... God, that's nightmarish. We're going to build Gilgamesh, give him a review, and then look back at the complete Eternals releases. Ooh, stay tuned. Gilgamesh! Articulation is as you would expect. Pivot in the ankle and it swivels side to side. There is a double joint in the knee, a swivel at the top of the thigh where the Build-A-Figure legs connect. There is no articulation in the waist that I can find, but there is a decent turn in the rib crunch. Moves at the top of the arms. This is appropriate pose for him, really. There, like that. Double elbow joint. We've also got a joint in the wrist, which is handy because he has, accessory-wise, a pair of balled-up fists, which are more likely to display him with, considering Gilgamesh is the strong Eternal, the guy with super strength, and also a head on top of a double ball-jointed peg. Likeness of actor Don Lee, his stage name, is really good. It's a fantastic likeness. I love it. Like, he's a bigger guy, he's a thicker guy, and they don't shy away from that. The sculpt of the head allows a little bit more chin and neck, which is good because it doesn't look kind of odd. Like, one of the weirdest things about some of the figures around this time, when it came to moving to just having this as the neck, the double ball jointed thing as the standard, is that the head shape of some actors is done a disservice as a result. Florence Pugh with the Elena Belova figure, for example, for Black Widow, looks weird because Florence Pugh has quite a round, soft face with soft features. She's got a very cherubic face, and she's got an angular jaw on the action figure because they didn't kind of sculpt a little bit more softness around the jaw, but they've done that here, and it's fantastic. His likeness is good. Colouring paint on the eyes and the facial hair in particular is great. Facial hair has been hit and miss on a lot of these figures, so the fact that it works here is good. He is a very striking figure. The rest of the Eternals all look great. For the most part, like, they all have like a great uniformed kind of look to the armour that they wear, their costumes. Gilgamesh stands out really, really nicely. Like, there's a decent separation of his skin tone from the orange gold of his costume, especially under lighting like this. In fact, if we change the lighting states, it stands out really nicely. There's a little bit of colour flaws, I guess, with the legs. If you look there where the Build-A-Figure part of the thigh attaches to the thigh crotch joint on the figure body part, slightly different colour, which is odd. But hey, I guess we just pass it off as like he's wearing a thigh-high boot. In which case, woo, he's pulling them off. The robe seems to not quite match, and I wonder if that's just the sculpt in general, or if it's just an issue on my Gilgamesh. But as you can see there, it drapes down all the way, and there it doesn't. Maybe it's a design thing. I don't know. I'm really happy to have him. He's, of course, the missing member for me, having collected the rest of the wave and the store exclusives, American store exclusive figures. So without further ado, I think we should probably get everybody out. What do you say? Gilgamesh, show off and pose while I display everyone. Is this the real life? Is this just some figures? These guys obviously don't count in the countdown of the Gilgamesh wave because, well, Gilgamesh is the Build-A-Figure. He is excellent though, and I've got to say, if you are thinking of collecting the Eternals toys, it is worth pursuing all of the wave to get hold of Gilgamesh. He is one of the better ones of the wave, but as he's the Build-A-Figure, I'm afraid I can't count him in my opinions of the countdown of the wave itself. Same, of course, with the Deviant Crow, who is a deluxe figure, and go back and watch my review. Really good, like one of the best figures, deluxe figures to come out of the MCU stuff. He's fantastic. I was so surprised with how good he looks, and again, how shiny he looks. Look at the colour shifting, right? Watch this. Look at the way his paint reflects the light. It's so cool. Fina, Angelina over there, incredible inclusion to the wave, to the MCU Marvel Legends. Honestly, fantastic. The Fina figure, her accessories, really, really cool. She was the first Eternals figure I bought. The only one I thought I was going to be able to get a hold of. And she still remains one of the coolest in the wave. She's also one of the best examples of a well-known actor being translated into the Hasbro MCU Marvel Legends wave, and you looking at it and going, yeah, I can see that. I can see it's them immediately. Salma Hayek doesn't fare too badly either. I think the more stern-faced Ajax head with the helmet does her a bit more justice, but I just quite like the smiling portrait personally. And the colour of Ajax's costume is still one of the most impressive of the wave. In fact, these three are very, very representative of how great the colour scheme can be on the armours when they get that beautiful, shiny, plastic, metallic vibe just right. So without further ado, let's look at the wave. I don't really have like a least favourite, really. It's more that the ones that I don't love as much is how the figure's been executed or pulled off. Not that I don't think any figure in this wave is bad, but there are some that miss out on some things. For example, one of our most recent reviewed is a pretty great figure, but Faustus is probably my least favourite of the wave, purely on the basis of, like, it's a great likeness, it's a great colour, but he really needed some accessories to make him pop, I think. Again, when you see them all as part of a lineup, there's no issue, because they all look cool together, but I feel Faustus needed some more to him as a release, just to make him pop. Same goes for, bless her, she's the bloody lead of the film, but Cersei. Likeness of Gemma Chan is lovely, the green colour of the armour is beautiful, she really stands out on the shelf as a result. And, you know, again, detail on the costume, the colour of it all, great. But because her power is about, like, shaping matter, it feels like a bit of a bare bones release. Which kind of sucks. What also sucks is that despite having one of the best portraits, Makari has one of the worst bodies. The weird rib thing I can't quite get over. The fact that her armour compared to everyone else's just looks so flat. Like it looks like the rest of them are made out of one material, and she's been sculpted out of, oh shit, we've run out of that, quick, let's use this instead. Do you know what I mean? And that really sucks because her sculpt is incredible. The hands she gets, a little rock hand there and everything, aid the super speed poses on the shelf really, really well. But the plastic just really lets it down, and that sucks. I don't want the plastic to let it down, but it did. That's a shame. Hey, there's a whole wave there, camera. Can we acknowledge the whole wave? Goddamn autofocus. Anyway, up next is Kingo. I love the attitude of this figure. I think the likeness of Kumail Nanjiani is pretty great. I just, again, finger guns, man. Like, could have done slightly better with the amount of accessories. Like, I don't know. Colour-wise, he is striking as hell. Like, the way the skin tone contrasts with the robes, the metallic purples and silvers, the lining of gold. Beautiful. I just think there could have been a little bit more done with him. Now we get on to three that I think are the best for reasons I'll make clear. For sheer detail on the actor's face, in the sculpt, on the costume, the fact that it's the least shiny costume but the charcoaly colour of it is really striking, is Druig. And I have no issue with Druig not having accessories and more flashy garb to go with the figure, because he doesn't. Like, he's the mind control guy. Like, I'm not expecting him to be able to have more per se. It's really interesting how the light is washing him out. Like, the natural white balance of the camera is struggling to pick up on him, but he's got like freckles, blemishes on his skin, his eyes are great, the eyebrows, the painting on that is fantastic. This figure has a presence. It's got a present. You look at that and you're like, yeah, I know what that's about. I was not expecting to be impressed by this one as much as I was. But I was. So, Druig does not suck, sir. My second favourite is purely down to just like how amazed I am at them pulling off this sculpt. A lot of action figure production is reusing prior assets to save money, to save time. A lot of the stuff that's on show here is original and brand new. There'll be bits and pieces here and there we can't see, like the underrobe portions of the characters will probably be torso things that have been used before. The hands might have been used before on prior stuff. But at the same time, you can look at these guys and go, yeah, I can see how these can be reused. I'm excited to see what Hasbro are going to do with Sprite mold. Again, likeness of the actor, fantastic. Very Peter Pan, isn't it? And, you know, the one who will never grow up. The colours of the armour, the layering of the cape so that it doesn't impede any articulation because it's two separate pieces, but looks like one at a glance. It's very rare you will get a child or teenager sculpt in the action figures, because why would they make it? They can't reuse those parts. Unless we're about to expand into more teenage superheroes. In which case, this is a great first MCU kid figure. And I'm excited to see where they go with characters like, you know, Kamala Khan from Ms. Marvel and stuff, if they can do such an amazing job with Sprite. My favourite figure for a couple reasons. One, it's got personality. Two, I love the colours. And three, if you are going to get just one Eternals figure, if your shelf collection you just want one figure to represent the film, this is the one figure in the Build-A-Figure wave that doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece and isn't as hard to track down as Athena and Ajak. Icarus. The likeness of Richard Madden is really, really good. The sprinkle of grey in the hair, like he naturally has. The boldness of the blue and the gold just really shines. The alternate head he comes with the lasers blasting out of his eyes, makes for a great display piece. And articulation is not hampered by the skirt. Like, his costume does not stop him from moving as dynamically as you need him to, which is a bit of an issue with some of the figures in this wave. It's just an all-round pretty great figure. I'll stress again, none of these are bad. Not a single one of these toys is a bad action figure. It just feels like as individual releases, they could have had more or done more to stand out. Athena's the only one who really kind of lives up to their potential because of all the accessories she's got. Crow is a really cool deluxe release. And Gilgamesh is definitely worth collecting. He's a really, really good figure. The strength of them, though, and this might just sound like I'm justifying the purchases I've made, but the strength of them is having them as a team. Now that they're all there on screen, even if I think some are a little weaker as separate releases as others, seeing them all together right now, that feels right. They really, really complement one another. So if you are planning to collect the Eternals and you want to restrain yourself to one or two maximum, I would recommend Athena and Icarus. But if you're happy to be searching for the whole thing, looking for those discounts, looking for the bundles, independent sellers who are selling them for different prices than the RRP, it's a fun snowball to chase down that hill. I think it's been worth it, and I cannot wait to give them a well-lit spot in my wall display. What about you? Which of the Eternals figures is your favourite? Which would you pick up? Which ones have you picked up? Let me know down in the comments below. If you would like to support me by buying toys for future reviews or putting money toward toys for future reviews, go to the PayPal links or Amazon wishlist links down in the description. Or, alternatively, don't. You don't have to spend any money to support me. You could just give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment, tell me what you thought of it, and I'll catch you guys soon for another toy review. Toodles!